Ayan used to believe his mind was his enemy. It jumped from one thought to another like a restless child, never staying in one place long enough to finish anything meaningful. Every morning he woke up with plans, and every night he slept with regret. He wanted to study, to improve his life, to make his parents proud, but somehow the day slipped through his fingers again and again. He lived in a small city where life moved slowly, yet his thoughts were always rushing. When he sat with his books, his phone called him. When he put his phone away, his mind wandered to worries about the future. He compared himself to others constantly. Some of his friends were already successful, some had clear goals, and some looked confident even when they were lost. Ayan felt like he was running but getting nowhere. One evening, after another unproductive day, he walked to the old park near his house. The park was quiet, almost forgotten, with broken benches and tall trees that had seen many seasons. At one corner of the park, an old man sat every day, feeding birds and reading the same thick notebook. Ayan had seen him many times, but never spoke to him. That evening, Ayan sat on a bench nearby, staring at the ground. His shoulders were heavy, his mind louder than ever. Without looking up, he spoke, almost to himself. Why is it so hard to do one thing properly? The old man smiled gently and closed his notebook. Because the mind is powerful, he said, and power without direction creates chaos. Ayan looked up, surprised. I didn't know I was talking out loud. The old man chuckled. Most people don't. Their thoughts speak for them. Something about his calm voice made Ayan curious. You come here every day, Ayan said. You always read that notebook. Don't you get bored? I read the same lines every day, the old man replied. But every day, my mind understands them a little better. Ayan frowned. The same lines? Yes, the man said. Focus is not about doing many things, it's about meeting the same thing again and again, until it reveals its depth. They sat in silence for a moment. Birds fluttered around them. The city noise felt far away. What do you do? Ayan asked. I used to be a watchmaker, the old man said. Tiny parts, tiny screws, one moment of distraction, and the whole watch would be ruined. Ayan nodded slowly. I can't even focus for 10 minutes. That's because you are trying to fight your mind, the old man said. A scattered mind needs guidance, not force. Over the next few days, Ayan started visiting the park regularly. He didn't know why, but something pulled him there. The old man, who introduced himself as Rahim, never gave long lectures. He told short stories from his life, about watches that took weeks to repair, about mistakes made because of impatience, about days when he did nothing except observe his own thoughts. One day Rahim handed Ayan a small task. Tomorrow, he said, sit in this park for 20 minutes, no phone, no music, just watch one tree. One tree? Ayan asked, confused. Yes. Don't think about it, just watch. The next day, Ayan tried. The first 5 minutes were torture. His legs wanted to move, his hands wanted his phone. His mind jumped from memory to worry to fantasy. The tree in front of him felt boring and meaningless. He checked the time again and again. After 10 minutes, something strange happened. His thoughts slowed down, not completely, but enough for him to notice the shape of the leaves, the way sunlight moved between branches, the sound of wind. He didn't feel peaceful, but he felt present. That evening Rahim listened quietly as Ayan described the experience. That discomfort you felt, Rahim said, is the mind resisting discipline. It fears stillness, because stillness reveals truth. Ayan didn't fully understand, but he felt something shift inside him. Days turned into weeks. Ayan started practicing small acts of focus, reading 5 pages without stopping, studying one topic fully instead of jumping between many, walking without checking his phone. At first it felt slow, even useless, but slowly, something changed. His mind stopped feeling like a crowded room. It became more like a narrow road, clear and quiet. He began finishing tasks he had abandoned for months. His sleep improved. His anxiety softened, not gone, but quieter. One afternoon, while studying, Ayan realized 2 hours had passed without distraction. He leaned back, surprised, almost scared. He hadn't forced himself. He hadn't fought his thoughts. He had simply stayed with one thing. He ran to the park that evening. It worked, he said, almost breathless. Rahim smiled. You didn't unlock focus, he said. You remembered it. Ayan started applying this new way of thinking to his life. Instead of worrying about his entire future, he focused on one step. Instead of trying to impress everyone, he focused on doing his work honestly. His confidence didn't come from praise, it came from clarity. People around him noticed the change. He spoke less but listened more. He reacted less but observed more. When problems came, he didn't panic immediately. He sat with them, understood them, and then acted. One evening, Ayan arrived at the park and found Rahim's bench empty. Days passed, and the old man didn't return. The birds were still there, the trees unchanged, but something felt missing. Ayan felt a strange sadness, but also gratitude. He sat on the same bench and opened a notebook of his own. On the first page, he wrote one simple line: "Where attention goes, life flows." Years passed. Ayan moved to a bigger city. Life became faster, louder, more demanding, but the lessons of that quiet park stayed with him. Whenever his mind started racing again, he returned to small acts of focus. One task, one breath, one moment. He realized that focus was not a talent given to a few. It was a skill, hidden inside everyone, waiting to be trained. Ayan didn't become famous overnight. His life didn't turn perfect, but it became steady, meaningful, and intentional. And every now and then, when the world felt overwhelming, he would stop, choose one thing, and give it his full attention. In that simple act, he always found his way back to himself.